It's time to mock draft. It's time to mock draft. Let's get our mock draft on. File on in. Hit that thumb up button on your way in the door.
It's time to mock draft.
We're running a little late tonight, but that's all right. We're a graveyard crew. We can assemble enough people during a 2 a.m. Eastern, 12 a.m. midnight Arizona, and 11 p.m. still. It's still Friday late night for California. File on in, lights out, first in the building, Jose Calderon, Kyle G, Doctor, and Richard. First in the building, punch the thumb up on your way in the door. The Fantasy Football Show begins now. Mock Draft Edition.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is up, good people? We are mock drafting tonight on this late night, this late graveyard shift. But we do this a lot. We'll go late. We'll go very, very late. But I'm in Arizona, so it's not even midnight yet, my time. But I do try and take care of my East Coast people. But sometimes we got to go live. It's 11 p.m. It's not even 11 p.m. yet in California. It's 10:58 p.m. in California. So not everybody lives on the East Coast standard. But we're here doing it live, and let's mock draft and get the show rolling. Hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. I'll drop the link in T-minus. Let's see. Let me copy the link. Let me drop the link. We'll drop the link in T-minus 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute. We'll let people file on in. Make sure we got enough people to. Yeah, we got about 30 people in here. All right. Here's the. Where's that? Where's that coming from? There we go. I had my sound on there. Okay, I'm going to take the 2 spot on this one. I took the 1 spot the last time. Mock draft link is there. Jump in. Grab a hold of a spot. They will go quickly. You'll see it. You'll see them go on the screen here. Let's mock draft, baby. 2023 fantasy football mock draft time. Let's see here. It is 11 p.m. officially California time. It is midnight officially Arizona time, and it is 2 a.m. on the East Coast. So let's go. We got 3 spots to go, and then we can kick off mock draft numero uno, which is not our first mock draft this year, but I believe the ranking update list is updated quite a bit better than before. It's still pretty shoddy, but we'll have to dig deep on some of the guys. 2 spots left. This is the dead off season. This is the slowest it's gonna go. Let me get my blue light blocking glasses on so your boy Smitty doesn't get a migraine looking at the screen all day. I paused Titanic for this, says Mikey. Mikey, appreciate you. Sebastian, Mikey, Lights Out, Jose Calderon, Brian MC, Frake. We got the whole crew in here. All right, one more spot. Who's gonna grab it? There we go. All right, we're ready to roll. The settings for this one are going to be redraft. Draft settings real quick. Snake, PPR, redraft, 12 teams. We're going to keep it short. We're going to keep it like 5 rounds, 6 rounds, something like that. All right, here we go. Draft is beginning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the clock is, who is that? I don't know who that is. Jefferson. Okay. I'm going to go CMC in this one and see how it goes. I'll run the 2 back. I'll stay in the 2 pick this series of mock drafts just to try out different strategies. I did that last time. I stayed in the 1 pick. Redid the 1 pick a couple times. I think it's kind of cool to do that and to keep it. We're only going to go 5 rounds. I have this set for 6, but I'm going to actually leave it in 5 rounds, and you guys can continue to stay in it if you want. But I don't want to. Actually, I'll pause it on my pick. Oh, God, look at this. JJJ21. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing taking Bijan at 4? We couldn't go 2 mock drafts without one of you driving his ADP up because you want to be the person that mock drafts him. You're not even the person that drafts him. You want to be the person that mock drafts him. Bro, it's too early. You're going to ruin his ADP, bro. You're going to single-handedly be one of the reasons why you don't get him. You're going to step on your own you-know-what, bro. What are you doing? I know you badly want him on your squad here. We've been talking him up. I think he honestly could be the number 2, number 1, number 3 running back in fantasy football redraft. But good Lord, bro. Like, we literally walk into the second mock draft. You know you're my boy, bro. You know you're my boy, Triple J21. I don't want you to be all upset at me. I appreciate you. You know how much I appreciate you. But come on. This is interesting, seeing Josh Allen go in the first round. We are a weird group of people, too. We're gonna jack ADP data up all over the place, bro. Not that there's anything wrong with these values like in August or September, but we got to be careful. Eckler falling to 9, which is also strange in our community because I'm so eventually down on him. I draft him around here. Sure, I draft Eckler at 9, 10, 11 all day long, even though I believe there will be some sort of drop off at some point. He is going to be fire in week 1. He'll be fire the first month, and then I'll trade him. Travis Kelce. Barkley's a pretty good stealer at 12. Is Triple J defending himself in here? Who's Triple J 21? Who is that in the YouTube chat? You can be honest about it. I'm not mad at you. I want everybody to be careful with Bijan. We're gonna absolutely destroy and ruin his ADP. I know it. I can't get 12 of us in a mock draft. Someone's gonna step out and say, I gotta get him, Smitty. I have to get him.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
Unbelievable. All right, let's start queuing some people up. Actually, I'll wait. This is the slowest mock draft. Feel like we should go to 10-second next. This is taking forever. Pretty solid 2.6, good value. Josh, see, that's a crazy reach at 1.7 for Josh Allen, but then you got Breece Hall, who you could argue at 1.7. So it's like end of day. Is that Rabby? End of day, bro. It's a nice duo. Etienne and Walker. Whew, Kyle. Does that rock out? Jeez. Hurts and Cooper, amazing. Bijan and JT still very good, but Jamar Chase and Amon-Ra, I like it. Okay. So do I take Henry and then trade him? Probably what I'm gonna maybe do. Debo, Higgins, Waddle, Evans. Who's there at tight end? Andrews? No. Quarterback. I know if I leave Burrow out there, you're gonna take him, aren't you? That's okay. Let's try this. Let's try Derrick Henry. Try and put Burrow's ADP down to at least 2.12 or 3.1. It's the best I can. Try and help out everybody. Take one for the team in the mock draft. I don't care about the mock draft. I care about the ADP. I knew he'd take Burrow was 100% lock going to go before it came back around. I knew that. No doubt about it. Debo's not too bad here. Waddle's pretty good value. I know we're forgetting some people, that aren't showing up. Let's just try this. I mean, Debo's interesting in the third round. You know what I mean? Feels like a pretty good value. You can't complain about that speed. Then eat the whole clock, bro. I actually can, Gar, because it's my show. But point taken. Touche, if you will. Can't sleep, Smitty. No, I mean, I never sleep at this time, bro. I'm always working. If I'm not live, I'm literally working, creating content and such, T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle. This does feel, part of me, why I think this feels like a slower draft is I'm used to drafting on Underdog promo code Smitty. Underdog Fantasy, use promo code Smitty. Guys, do these over-unders. We need to jump in and do a couple of we'll create a ticket or two before we get out of here. But Underdog Fantasy, they'll match up to $100 in your first deposit if you use promo code Smitty. And let me put the link in you just have to use promo code Smitty, but if you use the link, it'll insert it for you. So let me put that in the live chat right now and pin it. But it is phenomenal to have a little extra skin in the game. And with fantasy over, you might have fantasy football, a playoff contest or whatever for sure. But to have extra skin in the game on top of that, and to have like a five player higher lower contest where it's a 20 times multiplier if all 5 things land, it's so phenomenal. It's so fun to land something like that. And your $5 will get you 100. Your $10 will get you 200. Your $20 will get you 400. A $20 5-player higher lower contest will get you a $400 payout if all 5 things land. And you can do insurance. You can do $20 to get you 400, but then put insurance down, and it basically cuts it in half. You'll win 200, but you only need to get 4 out of the 5 right, which is kind of cool because you don't know which one's going to miss. So getting 4 out of 5, it's kind of a good deal. If I would do that more than not, I would win a lot of them. But I always get greedy, and I want to hit all 5 and get that 20-time multiplier. But we'll do a couple before we go. I'll show you what some of my favorite ones are. Eagles, Bengals going to the Bowl. I believe so. That's what I have anyway. But Niners could definitely. Ada, you're gonna miss this draft, but we'll do another. Is this like Frozen? I'm just gonna pick the top player that's there. I'm not. It was like Frozen. What in the heck just happened? Bro, I didn't know what just happened. It just like glitched or something. Smitty, I learned to do insurance the hard way. Yeah, I think I might just do it. I think I need to let go of the fact that of whatever it's going to pay you without the insurance. I need to just pretend like that option doesn't exist. Because I land 4 out of 5 so many times. Let's see what players are left. Let's see here. It's going to be interesting where people pick Calvin Ridley. I feel like Calvin Ridley's going to go very early. Too early for my liking, to be honest. Is it my turn? Oh, God. No! No! Let's get a timeout. God. There I go, draining the clock again. My bad. I do have a little bit of an excuse to be a clock drainer because I'm running a show. These are mock drafts, Ada. These are just good old mock drafts. I dropped the link in the live chat, Ada. You can get right in. Oh, Javonte was there. I didn't even see. That's the part of the problem is when the ADPs aren't updated. I'm just gonna take him here, and for conversation's sake. He's probably gonna miss 4 to 6 games. Is this too early, or is this good value? Tough to say. What do you guys think? Is Alvin Kamara in round 5, round 6, or round 7 good value? We don't know. This is the first mock draft we've We did mock drafts the other day, but I don't remember where the values were, and the rankings were so much worse than even this that we couldn't even really evaluate the drafts. It was like we'd figure out that somebody forgot this player entirely, and we're like, oh my god. And I think the rankings are still bad enough to where we may not use this as a good basis for anything either. We're just kind of having fun. But I guess I would ask, do you think that Kamara in round 5, round 6, or round 7 is most appropriate? It's just a good conversation starter because honestly, he's almost a total avoid for me. But at some point, where's your line? Like, this team looks really good. You know, I'd trade Derrick Henry away before double-digit weeks. I'm very much against believing in Henry all year long, and yet I drafted him. Why did I draft him? Because he shouldn't be sitting this late. I will trade him. I would trade him in this scenario. I would play him for multiple games, then I would trade him. Love Devontae Smith. I took Devontae Smith, not Keenan Allen. It glitched out, bro. It showed you as timed out and sat there. So I manually had to bump it to move forward, and it put Keenan Allen in there for you. I don't know. I don't know why. Look, it's all jacked up right now. This is there's some glitches going on. All right, let's end this right now, real quickly. Looking at the Barkley team, Barkley, Diggs, Swift, Hawkinson, and whatever pick they pick right now. Kelsey, Nick Chubb, Hopkins, Ramondre, Tyreek, A.J. Brown, Andrews, Lamar, Zeke, Austin Eckler, Mahomes, Joe Mixon, Metcalf, Pickens, Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, Cook, Fields, Tony Pollard, Josh Allen, Breece Hall, Olave, Mike Evans, Darren Waller, Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne, Garrett Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, Godwin. I like that. Cooper Kupp, Jalen Hurts, Keenan Allen. That should be Devontae Smith. Najee Harris and Kyle Pitts. That's a pretty good team, bro. JJJ21, who picked Bijan 4. And I don't know where to pick him. I'm not saying you guys can't take him where you want. You're free to do whatever you want. But it's just like, we can't take him at 4. I don't know where to tell you to take him because it's like, how can I tell you all to keep passing on him when we know we want him? I get it. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I feel like maybe the turn picks, I don't know. Can you pretend you drafted him? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know that there is a good answer. My team's McCaffrey, Henry, Debo, Kittle, Alvin Kamara, and I would trade Henry away by week 5. And Kamara, I think, did anybody answer where they think Kamara should go in their opinion? Did anybody answer? Yeah, I don't know what the answer is to where to draft. I'm going to keep going from this 2 pick to deploy different strategies. All right, dropping the link right now. Ada, you want to get in on this? Click the link when I paste it. Jump in. The spots will go quick. Boom. Link is posted in the live chat. Jump into the chat. If you're watching the replay of this video and you want to know how to get into a draft, Smitty, how do I get into a draft? I dropped the links in the live chat. And everybody clicks it. First come, first serve. They fill very quickly. We've got 50 people in here right now. How many thumbs up do we have? Your boy Smitty is out here grinding. Can we get the 50 eyeballs to be matched with the thumbs up, please? Por favor. Ada says 6 to 8. Well, I took them in what, 5, something around 5. Let me go ahead. Draft settings. Don't mind the lineup requirements. Like if you go to team and it says 1 running back, 1 RC, don't worry about that. Fill it as if you were drafting a 12. Okay, we're full. Fill it like you're drafting a 18 round, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, flex, quarterback, tight end. I'm just trying to make this as quick as possible so we can roll through more and more and more. Dang, Smitty, you still up dropping the fantasy football knowledge at 2:15 a.m. Eastern time. Appreciate you, Jordan. Thank you. Bronze in Emil says thoughts on Addison. You'll hear about that soon. Okay, hang tight. I got a lot of content coming on this stuff. Smitty, if I'm in a keeper league, should I not keep Henry? Depends on your options, bro. Henry's still very, very, very good for the first month or 2. Let's go JJ. Sorry, there I am again wasting the clock. Very, very, very good for the first month or two. You know, like I would sell him in week 5. That's just me. But maybe you can't sell him in Dynasty at all. I don't know what to go for. If it's me, I try and sell him. Oh God, Bijan. Three. Nice job. Nice job taking Bijan 3, bro. What did I tell you guys? No matter how much prep work I could do, you know, he'll be a first rounder. He'll be a first rounder because of this mock drafting. And it's going to be, who is that big dog? I don't know who that is, but it's going to be, no offense, whoever you are, I appreciate you. I'm not mad at you. I sent you on a lap because you rightfully deserve to go on a lap. But you will be you will be your own reason as to why you won't be able to draft Bijan this coming season. You will step on your own, you know what, and get in your own way. You're gonna trip yourself stepping on your own stuff, bro. And you guys mock drafting him at 2, 3, 4 are gonna have only yourselves to blame. I'm just saying. I appreciate you. I'm not mad at you, but you have your own self to blame as to why you don't own Bijan at top of second round or mid second round value. You will be to blame, and you won't have him. You'll be upset. You'll be upset. You'll be sitting there at pick 9, licking your chops, and he's going to go at 8. I would just say picture having him. Picture owning him. Just imagine it in the mock draft at 3. It's unreal. It's unreal. I'll be willing to take Kamara round 5. Might change by the time we actually draft. Yeah, I think it depends on who's available. But like where I took him in the 5th round felt okay. I'd rather have a couple different players. There was a guy I wanted more that I just couldn't get to quick enough because he's buried. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of an internet connection problem, but I was able to restart and continue said live stream. Let's go ETN. This is really hard to find some of these players in time. Although I could be queuing them up ahead of time and not pushing myself to the limits. But look at that squad. How's ETN fall to 3.2? Is that because of the draft, the ADP pre-rank? Is that because of the draft list that they provide us? How does ETN fall to 3.2? That's phenomenal. I love that. Appreciate you, Gordon. Jordan says, not my Wi-Fi failing me again. Yeah, it was mine. I had to switch. I have two internet connections here. I've learned your boy Smitty has to have double. I have double. And if one goes down, I go on the other. I learned, baby. I learned the good way. ETN, Mahomes, and JJ. Phenomenal. Broskies. I'm loving it. We're going to do 4 rounds. It's garbage after that point. I'm just not going to even do it right now. Until the ranking lists are updated a little bit, you know? I feel like this is good. So far, let's look at these teams. And again, understand that they're not... let's not look at it this way, because I have a feeling people are going to think that's the way we're drafting them. Let's go to the top. Jamar, Joe Burrow, Josh Jacobs. That's pretty good. I would like it better with ETN. But if you like Jacobs, you know, so be it. We'll find out where he lands. JJ, Mahomey, ETN. Bijan, T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle. I mean, I like it. I like it, but Christian McCaffrey, Garrett Wilson, Andrews. Andrews is a little high, don't you think? I mean, he went high in the other mock draft too. I just think he hasn't earned it. Kind of feel like it's I don't know that I like that value at all. I feel like that's where he went last year when we knew what he was, or we thought we knew what we're going to get. Like, I feel like Lamar could leave. Who knows? I feel like it's a little high, but I like him if he were to fall. I picture getting him in round 5 and then liking the value. Christian McCaffrey, Garrett Wilson, Andrews. But it's a really good trio at the end of the day. But I do think he's more of a 4th round pick. Maybe 5th. Maybe 5th round pick. I mean, that would be a steal. Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra. That's pretty good. JT's hard to assess, but I feel like he could be worth that for sure. You don't know. Barkley, Mixon, Swift. Swift's too high for me. Hate to say it, but Josh Allen, Breece Hall, Debo. Very good trio. Eckler, Diggs, Najee. Pretty darn good. JJJ, 21. Hill, Lamb, Chubb, Aaron Jones. Interesting build, and if Chubb does have another year left, I don't know that he does, but if he does, then you would be in the money. Henry, A.J. Brown, Chris Olave, Hawkinson, interesting. Walker, Travis Kelce, Devontae Smith, Ramondre, I like it. Fields, Najee, Diggs, Eckler. I love the Fields edition. Lou, what's Lou do here? Because I do like what he's doing. I don't know that Josh Allen... The only thing I don't like, Lou, is I don't know that Josh Allen needs to be a first-round pick. We're going to be higher on quarterbacks than any other community on the planet. But I don't know that we need to be first-round high. I don't think the quarterbacks are going on round 1. We are changing slowly but surely the landscape of fantasy football quarterbacks. We are. We have a big, heavy hand, and we talk about it more than any other channel, and we're shaping that narrative back in the direction of QBs and round 2 are acceptable. Don't let anybody tell you that all 4 of the top 4 quarterbacks shouldn't go in round 2. They should. They should. They should. They deserve it. They should. And it's not like you need to wait. I do believe in getting your guy to an extent. Not Bijan at 2 right now, but like in round 2, I don't care about people saying it's a reach. I'm going to do it. I'm going to grab a quarterback in round 2. Good Lord. I feel like this is a little bit early, but not really. Dalvin Cook, okay. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that Christian Watson value? A little early or good? Right about almost top of 5. I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like he could be that good. Jamar, Burrow, Jacobs, Cook, Bijan, T, Waddle, Charbonnet. I don't know what to tell you. I don't blame you. You shouldn't not be able to draft who you want. Like Charbonnet, you want him, but bro, like the double to do both of them. Single-handedly, Big Dog's trying to ruin their ADPs. Oh my God, Big Dog. I like the team though. Like I'm on. Like you're in the fantasy football show university, the fantasy football show mindset. Like you got it. You've got the skills, bro. If I was hiring and looking to interview followers and subscribers for my show, if that's how it worked, I'd be looking at you, bro. I'd be looking at you. I like what you got. but I don't like you ruining the ADP data. Okay, let's get out of here. Another draft. Let's get that off the screen. We don't want people seeing that coming in here. They might be not, returning. I'm just gonna stick with the same slot. I went first pick overall last time. I'm gonna do. This might be our last one. I mean, Charbonnet and Bijan. He had to do both. He had to try and link dropped in the live chat. If you're watching a replay and you ask, how am I getting into these mocks, Smitty? I want to mock. You get into a live stream, turn your notifications on, subscribe if you're new, and turn your notifications on, and I'll drop the links in the live chat, and then they'll go this quickly. We're in the dead of the off season. 62 people in here. They fill up within 16 seconds. And they're full. And we start. Let's try Jamar Chase this time. Wow, Joe Burrow, end of second round, and Lamar, middle of the third. What app is this? Ty Lee. I think the Cowboys could consider not signing Pollard. Well, bro, he's a free agent, so he's gonna hit the free agent market. Like he'll listen to the offers, right? If they come to him and he wants to stay, he could sign before he tested free agency, but most likely he's going to hit the free agent market, bro. And then if he doesn't get what he wants, he could circle back. But he's a free agent, so most likely the Cowboys have no choice. They have nothing that they just can offer and try and compete for him. But they may not. They might draft a rookie. They could trade up and get Bijan. They need to trade up into the top 10 because Bijan's going inside the top 10. They have to trade up into the top 10 to get Bijan. They could not draft him at 26. Mel Kiper is smoking some of that whack stuff. All right. Big Dog did it again. Big Dog did it again. Big Dog did it again. Big Dog, at least admit who you are in the YouTube live chat. What are you doing, bro? He's relentless. I have to take him. I have to look at my mock draft and see Bijan on it. They have shown serious interest. Kitch, what does that have to do with 26 overall, though? They got to trade up. You know what I mean? What I might do is start just sending links to people in an approved format on the Instagram, in the Instagram chat. I mean, I'll do these once in a while, probably still no matter what, but I might send links to a mock draft group and make it a requirement that you put your IG handle as your draft name. That way we can keep track of who's who. I mean, if we got to go that route, we got to go that route. But it's like we can't have people ruining these ADPs. We're in a redraft right now. We have people taking Bijan in the top 5. It's unbelievable. Mix in. What am I going to do here? I might time out. St. Brown seems a little early. Not because he can't earn it, but let's see. What RB can I take? Let's go zero wide receiver or zero running back approach. Cooper Kupp, Kenneth Walker is a fantastic start there, Triple J. Nice job. Let's see what you do with this pick. Don't screw it up, bro. Don't screw it up, DK. It's not bad, but I think he falls. But you never know. Like, what if they land Aaron Rodgers or Brady or Lamar or something? Like, there's a lot of Lamar to Seattle chatter, even though it seems unlikely. Like, can you imagine? DK would be worth that. You could get Lamar in the 4th to 5th round range. Travis Kelce, Joe Burrow, pretty good start. Josh Allen, Breece Hall. That's a great start. Tyreek Hill and Mahomes, former teammates. That's a great start. JT and Barkley. That's a great start. Diggs and Devontae. Love it. These are all good starts, bros. Broskis. I like it. Imagine, Big Dog, if you had Bijan in the 2nd round and you just envision him falling in the 2nd round just in your mind, and you take somebody else in round 1. Your team would be fire if you got Bijan in round 2, which I think you would do right now, currently. MK, Ramondre. I don't know how I feel about Ramondre. I'm mixed on it. Yeah, Brian, I'm probably going to drop the link in there next. I'll drop it in the IG chats that I have, the 2 IG chats. We need to get some different... If people aren't going to listen and they're going to continue to mock draft Bijan at like 2 and 1 and 3 and 5, we're not going to continue to do that all year. I'm not going to do that. Plain and simple. So you're going to not only are you going to ruin his ADP, you're going to ruin your chances of mock drafting in these mock drafts, because we're going to absolutely destroy the advantage that we all have in this community by these guys.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Self-destruction is what it is. Because we feel like the bottom line for anybody new, I believe Bijan will be top 1 to 5 overall.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space. He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars Man.
He's a Mars man. Bijan's a Mars man.
Loads dropping and spinning aimlessly in space.
Arguably my number 2 finishing running back, or number 1. He could be the number 1 running back in fantasy football. But you got to take him where his ADP dictates. And unfortunately, in the 3 mock drafts we've done so far, we've had individuals draft him at 2, like 3 and 5 or whatever they are. And that's shaping his ADP. So you want to take him where his ADP is, get ready. You're putting him in a horrible spot. Sean Tucker, why are you going to do that? Big Dog, you're out. You're out. You're going to take Sean Tucker in the 4th round. No one even knows who he is, bro. No one even knows who he is. You just took Sean Tucker in the 4th round. A moon man.
The tripod, also likened to pyramid.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
You just took one of the surprise moon men in the 4th round, bro.
Space Moon says.
I bet you Big Dog cannot wait for Christmas. Like, he just sits up. Like, just no patience whatsoever. Just counting down the day. Remember when you were a little kid and you're like, oh my God, Christmas is 362 days away. 364 days away. I timed out because I'm so bro took Sean like Big Dog. I was almost gonna defend you a little bit and say, you know what, I understand you. Sean Tucker in the 4th round in a redraft. Are you out of your mind? Congrats on not mock drafting anymore, Big Dog. Okay. Let me get on Instagram here. Unbelievable. This is what it's resorted to. Hold on. All right, I'm going to drop the link in the two groups. We've got a graveyard chat. Here we go. Mock drafts in the graveyard chat. Link dropped. All right. File it in. Grab a spot. Unbelievable, bros. We got to resort to this. All right, here we go. What's up, your boy Rick? Well, I dropped it in the IG group, but IG group's asleep. Here, we'll do this. Get in there. Get in there. Link's been dropped. Request. Don't take Bijan until at least the 12-13 pick turn. Like, just envision you have him. I'm not saying we have to do this all off season or anything like that, but we literally have gone 3 straight drafts in a row. 3 or 4. Where you guys have taken him at, those that have had him, taken him at 2, 3, and 5. And if you take them in the top 5, I'm going to start auto-drafting your picks for you. Was your TV show suggestion a month ago, Kingdom? Korean, I don't know if I found the same one. No, it's not it's a MMA, like, MMA show, bro. It's on Peacock. Appreciate you for the super chat, Marquez. But go to Peacock. It's a free app. It's by NBC, and download Peacock and search for Kingdom. It'll be an MMA fighting. It's not a documentary. It's like a legitimate, fictitious or a fiction show about a family. If you want Bijan, don't pick a top 5 or 6 pick, because I'm gonna switch your picks out and auto pick all your picks. Yeah, it's such a good show, bro. So if you want Bijan, pick at least the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th pick. Wherever he goes now is fine, whatever. But I'm just going to use my discretion on picking him because I don't want to ruin it. I know where I can draft him. Najee's, that's pretty high Monday. That's pretty crazy. Or Mando? Is that Mando? Looks like Monday. Mondo? Bro, someone messing up ETN's ADP. Yeah, but I hope he falls, but he's arguable to fall or go high. I've seen people mock him at like 5 to 10. I've seen people do that. I don't know that I feel like his ADP will be that high. I think it's more like end of round 1. But thank God everybody's letting him fall, at least in one of the mock drafts. Like I thank you for waiting, guys. 12's okay. It's still early, but I don't think we're changing the world by mocking them at 12 down into the second round, but unbelievable that it's come to this. After top 3, it's like who? Yeah, I feel that way. I think Eckler's going to go in the normal mock draft populations in the top 4 or 5. I think Chase, JJ, and CMC will be kind of the consensus top 3. I think Cooper Kupp's going to be in the 4, 5, 6 range. I think some will take JT that high. Some will not even want him in round 1. I think Najee Harris, no way he goes in round 1. That's the highest I've seen him go. Barkley's anywhere in the 7 to 12. Kelsey's anywhere in the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Henry's anywhere in the 5 to 12 or 5 to 11. Bijan's going to be in round 2 initially, which is great. Breece Hall, Walker are looking like second rounders, which is fantastic. Josh Allen, in a traditional mock draft environment, will go exactly where he went here, about 2.5 to 2.8, not in the first round like we've been doing in the past couple of mocks. Devontae Adams. I'll go Burrow here. Amon-Ra and Hurts, okay. I have no RB. Man, it gets kind of crazy at RB. Yeah, I guess Jacobs would have been a good pick. Where was he at? I didn't even see him. Why can't they just update this data? Like, I could go through in 2.5 minutes and resort it and hit save. And we'd all have a very good list to go off of at least. You know, it's kind of crazy. Moon Man Rick says Niners win. You do a live stream in a Purdy jersey. No, I don't have a Purdy jersey. I don't intend to buy a Purdy jersey. I have nothing against the Niners, nor do I think it's impossible for them to win. So no, Moonman Rick. But I appreciate you. And Moonman Rick has been a YouTube exclusive member for 2 months. I appreciate that. But Niners could easily win. It comes down to whether Kyle Shanahan's going to run CMC in the first and second quarter enough to keep the Eagle defense on the field longer to wear down and get points racked up in the fourth quarter and keep Jalen Hurts off the field. That's the recipe, and I feel like Shanahan is capable of deploying that winning strategy, but he's also capable of not kickstarting it until the third and fourth quarter. Love the show, Smitty. Thank you, Moon Man. Appreciate you. Thank you again, Moon Man. Appreciate you. Steelers gonna upgrade the O-line for sure. 20 carries a game. You talking about Najee? Yeah, but the value for that, bro, 1.7. You'd easily get him at 2.6 right now, I think. So I would have probably waited if I could, but you know, Barkley's a little bit safer. But trust your gut. But I think his ADP will be in a great spot for you. If you do believe in Najee, I'd take good advantage of his ADP. It's going to probably be pretty generous for you if you believe in him, rather than, you know, rush him out there in the 1.7 pick and kind of ruin the upside that you probably are going to be gifted if you wait and be patient. You know what I mean? Yeah, I should have probably got the T. Higgins. I don't even know where T. Higgins was when I was scrolling, bro. The T. Higgins, Burrow, and Chase stack would be kind of fun. But Devo's pretty good value there. So, Team 12, Bijan, Tyreek, Fields, Kittle, like it. Team 11, Derrick Henry, CeeDee Lamb, Chubb. Why are you drafting Jackson, bro? That's so early. Austin Eckler, Breece Hall, Swift, Andrews. What is this Jackson pick at 4.2, bro? Fourth round? What are we doing here? What are we doing? What are you doing to ADPs? I have no RBs at this point. I mean, do I take Pollard? Do I take A.J. Dillon? Tyler Algier? I don't know. Let's just say Tony Pollard's in an amazing spot. I doubt he is. I don't know why I feel that way. I just feel that way. I feel like he's going to be a little bit let down. I feel like the injury's going to... Hopefully not. Hopefully the injury doesn't hold him back, you know? I think I'm good on mocks for today. Let's just talk real quick. We'll open up the phone lines for a minute. Yeah, dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial on in, good buddies. Dial in again. I missed your call, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, broski. What's up, Danny from Tampa? What's up, my guy?
How's it going, Smitty?
Oh, pretty good, bro.
I know you're going to get mad at me. I'm the JSN in the 4th round guy.
At least you're honest, bro. But Danny, what are you doing? Doesn't matter.
I mean,
doesn't matter if you like them. You're going to ruin your own ADP value of them. You know?
Obviously, it depends on the leagues you're in. I mean, JSN in the 4th, come redraft, like come to drafts in September and after the combine and where he lands. Him in the 4th round, I think, is going to be a steal. You might be lucky to get him in the 4th round.
I don't.
Obviously, when I
know a lot of people are high on Jackson, bro, but I mean, I think you're doing yourself a disservice though, drafting a rookie wide receiver that a lot of people don't even know, like who he is.
I agree with you.
Like you don't want to.
Part of it was just to have a little fun on the show. Just to make it
one mock isn't gonna, push anything in crazy fashion, but I don't know that I'd be out there mock drafting that over and over, bro. Like you're gonna.
Oh, that in a perfect world, you might be able to get him in like that. Last year, Garrett Wilson, one of my leagues, went undrafted, and I got him off the waiver wire. You know what I mean? So that in a perfect world, that's what we're all hoping for. But I don't know. I was just looking at the people available, and I'm really high on this kid. I just figured why not take him.
Is that so crazy when Bijan is being drafted in the 1st? They're both crazy right now. In that I mean, Bijan at like 12, 13, 14. Tough to say where people are going to have both these guys in August, but to kickstart Ian, to kickstart a JSN ADP and kickstart a Najee ADP in the 3 pick for Najee, 3 overall, 5 overall, and I believe it was 2 overall, and to draft a guy in Jackson that 40% of fantasy football doesn't know who he is yet. And I just think that you're gonna end up preventing yourself, if you do it on the regular, from or assisting in preventing yourself not to be able to get him where you want. I don't know that his ADP is going to climb that high. It certainly could, but I think that where did
depends on landing spot,
Yeah, I mean landing spot does matter and all that, but I don't know. I can't see people. I think people are going to probably be a little bit gun shy on a rookie wide receiver.
Regardless. Oh, for sure. They stay away from rookie wide receivers, but you saw what happened with Olave this year, with Garrett Wilson this year. They just kind of broke out towards the end of the year, and they were league winners for most people. And I got Garrett Wilson off waivers in my league in week 2 or week 3, I believe. So Bijan, I feel like no matter what, it's going to be a first-round pick. I just think this guy's the hype is so high on this kid. Once the combine happens and all his metrics come out,
Ian
people
says,
love rookie running back.
I know. Ian says, I get it, but if it was a real draft, I think it's a great pick. You're missing the point, though, Ian. You're missing the point. It has nothing to do with that. You're not getting an argument from me. He could be a moon man, but so is Bijan, and that's why we're up in arms about Bijan going at 2, 3, and 5 in the 3 mock drafts we did back to back to back.
That's too early. That's
it's too early, Ian. Not because we don't agree with it.
Top 5 is too early.
It's just you're ruining it. I don't understand, Ian, what you're not seeing there. I appreciate the take because I believe that both these guys have lots of upside, and you might just see a couple rookie wide receivers, or at least one. And I'm not gonna get on it too much because I want to make sure we leave that content for when it's gonna drop. But you might see him on the Moonman list, but I'm going to be promoting not ruining his ADP unnecessarily, Ian. Why would you want to do that? This mock drafts mean nothing right now.
My man Ian got my back.
Yeah, he's got your back, but he doesn't. He's not defending his own potential ability to get JSN
to get
or
him later.
Bijan.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
in general.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't.
Again, I just drafted him in this particular draft just to kind of stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah, no, and it's I understand.
A little fun.
I'm glad. I mean, you're honest. That's just cool, Danny. Thank you for. Ada, you're live with Danny and Smitty.
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
What's up, man?
How y'all doing?
What's going on?
We're good.
You got anything other than that? Ada?
I'll let y'all go. I'll watch what he says. I don't want to. Yeah, but I just wanted to say appreciate the live streams, and I love doing the mocks with you all throughout the off season. It helps a ton, man.
Yeah, man, totally. What did you think about? Is there anything in there besides those topics? Is there anything in there that stood out to you? It looked weird, or you liked, or you didn't like?
The Najee at 7 is kind of nuts. I mean, and I love Najee Harris, but in that last mock draft, like taking Najee 107, that's crazy. Just can't.
Yeah,
and then even like letting Eckler fall to 109 is also kind of crazy too, with how good and efficient he's been.
Yeah, Najee was.
I like Eckler top 5.
Najee at 1.7 was pretty high. I think the two things that stood out to me, ETN went at number.
Oh yeah, that's ETN at 4.
He went at 4, which is way too high in one draft. But then in the other two drafts, I think Walker and ETN went like in the mid-second, which I really liked. That felt
Kenny Walker in the mid-second is that's
a
steal. He's top 5 RB.
Yeah.
I love Kenny Walker.
I noticed
so explosive.
The quarterbacks were going a little high, and then they didn't. The last draft, it was nice to see them fall a little bit. I have no problem. So like to kind of discuss along the lines of ruining ADPs. There's a certain point where I don't care. Especially if we get near draft day. If you're on the clock and you have the 5 pick and you want Bijan, so be it. But like, don't ruin your own chance of actually getting.
Don't do it in the mock draft.
Yeah.
In February.
Same thing with Burrow. Same thing with Josh Allen. Same thing with Mahomes. Same thing with Jalen Hurts. If you're sitting in the middle of round 2 or even the top of round 2, let's say you got the 12, 13 bookend picks, and you want to go Hurts or Josh Allen or whoever at that 13 pick, I'm going to support you in that at the end of the day. Because you're not going to get those quarterbacks at the other side, and so I'm okay with it. But I think just be careful in your mock drafts. Everybody don't like. That's kind of why I hate mock drafting. I very much like we are some of the bigger mock drafters, like our community. But like I remember, I'm starting to get the feeling back that I had right near the end of it. I remember thinking to myself, and don't take offense to this, guys. But I remember thinking to myself, thank God mock drafts are over. I was tired of them because we just did them constantly. It's all anybody wanted to do. And I love talking football.
Yeah, you guys do a lot on the channel.
I love talking football.
We did a lot last offseason.
I like talking football. It's my favorite thing to do, talking news, talking rumors, talking all that. And mock drafting, even though I can do that in between, it's just a whole different feel. And I honestly don't love it. I'm just being real. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't love mock drafting, but I know how much you guys love it, so we do it in the graveyard time slot, and that way I can focus on my show during the evening hours and not mingle mock drafting into the other parts of the show. But I remember, and I kind of forgot what the feeling was like, but I remember the feeling when mock drafting was over. I remember thinking, God, like it's almost like we're living in fairy tale land inside our mock drafts, and we aren't anywhere close to what's going on, and we're just manipulating our own ADP. We're just ruining our own ADP over and over and over. And it's like part of me doesn't want to go through that again, but I know how much you guys love mock drafts. And I don't want to tell people where to draft. Like, who am I to come in and say you can't draft Bijan Robinson until pick 10 and put like a line in the sand for you? Right. I can't do that. Tonight I was kind of making a point, but like I'm not going to sit here and police where you guys can mock draft players. That's not up to me. That's a ridiculous thing, like stance to take. I know how that probably came off, and I even felt like it was ridiculous when I was trying to shape the mock draft.
You're just trying to be helpful.
Yeah,
but you want us to be successful in our league, so
right? And so that's the only reason.
The best value.
That's the only reason I did that. I'm not going to do that all off season, but like, just the first 3 mock, like really, like, hey guys, try not to draft Bijan.
102.
Try not to draft Bijan too high. The first 3 mock drafts we do, 102, 103, 105. It's like, it got to me.
Yeah, that's a tad high.
It got to me. It got to me
because can't take Bijan over JJ or Jamar or CMC or even Eckler. Like,
it's just
these guys are just like proven studs.
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of like, I know mock drafts are so important to you guys, and I'm going to continue to do them, and I'm not going to try and tell you what to do. You guys do what you want, but it's just disheartening to see a guy I know we all can get at a extreme discount, like undervalued territory for a while. I think maybe in September he'll be in the 7, 6, 5 range. because people are going to be so high. And everybody that drafted Bijan tonight at 1.2, 1.5, and 1.3, wherever he went, they just have that feeling of, I want everyone to know I was on top of it. And it's like everybody on this channel already knows everybody else on this channel is on top of it. We all know, to a degree that he's going to be in all of our top 5 running back, like in that territory.
Yeah,
maybe some people have made.
So electric.
But like, why do we got to do that in a mock? I don't know.
I'm a big time dynasty guy. So like, I've been on Bijan for 2 years. Like,
yeah.
I've just been
in a dynasty,
so ready for this guy.
Dynasty, you could take a 1. I don't think you're ruining anything. You just, I may be.
In a rookie draft, he's definitely the 101. Even in super flex, people take him over C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young.
No, I'm saying in a dynasty.
And they're in the startup.
I'm saying in a dynasty startup.
In a startup, yeah.
You take a 1 or 2.
Yeah, you could definitely make the argument for 1 for sure. If it's not a super flex, if it's a super flex, it's a little bit different. But a single QB, oh yeah, for sure.
Super flex has got to be 4 straight QBs, or you just aren't playing it right.
Burrow, Mahomes, Josh Allen. That's usually
you got to.
I'm big on Patty and Joey B. I love those two. They're both so good. I love Allen, but a lot of injury risk.
Danny, where do you predict? Short answer. Where do you predict Lamar in 2023?
Going?
Yeah.
What team? He's probably going to get franchise tagged, unfortunately.
But
I'm a Tampa guy, so I want him to go to Tampa on my heart, but probably going to get franchise tagged.
So you don't believe he'll be tagged and traded?
No, I don't think so.
Ada, what do you think? Where's Lamar? Ada.
I don't know what happened to my man.
Oh, sorry.
Where's Lamar?
Okay.
Were you
So
asleep?
first off, I think he is going to get franchise tag, but from there, with the franchise tag getting traded, probably, I think Miami, and then the sleeper being Seattle.
Ooh, that's electric. I like that. I hope that happens.
Seattle would be interesting, but yeah, my landing spots, you guys probably know by now. Where's my Brady board? Hold on. Call it the Tom Brady board, but I have Lamar in Miami. I have Aaron Rodgers in New York, and then I have the Raiders getting whoever's left over. So the problem is
that's a fantasy player's.
Yeah, the problem is
player's dream.
Tom Brady probably is, in my opinion, more than likely the more likely candidate to go to Miami than Lamar, even though Lamar's my pick. Like, I want Lamar in Miami, and I want Brady in Las Vegas.
I got a question for you, Smitty.
Yeah. Go ahead. Lateral. Hold on 1 second. Lateral Nicholas, hang tight real quick. Go ahead.
Just a quick question. Do you really think that Miami's that ready to move on from Tua? Like, they'll just kick him to the curb for Brady, who's turning 46?
Anything's possible. Like, they could believe in Tua, but you'd have to be an absolute borderline imbecile to try and run back what you just did with the same risk level, if not greater, with your quarterback, and not have a backup quarter. You don't. Skyler, none of these guys are capable of a playoff run. Like, they could win a couple games. I agree. So, like, they would be borderline imbecile, like that type of ridiculousness. To not expect Tua to be knocked out of a game like by week 4 or 5.
He's so injury prone. Man.
He's still in concussion protocol. He's still in concussion. This is over a month, and you have this ridiculous nonsense report by what was it? Is this it right here? Dolphins GM Chris Greer said he learned through discussions with doctors. What doctors? And the NFLPA. I'd love for the NFLPA to back this up. So Dolphins GM Chris Greer learned through discussions with doctors and the NFLPA that Tua is no more prone to concussions than any other player in the NFL. Bunch of cap right there. You got to be out of your mind. He's still in concussion protocol after a month. What do you mean he's not? He's currently in a concussive state the moment they're putting that report out. Like, what are you talking about? Miami
more
Mike.
hit, his life is done.
You what?
One more hit, his life is done.
Yeah, I mean, his future cognition and ability to be a person that can think properly, you know, at a older age is on the line. Like the more hits he takes to this severity level that he always goes to when he gets hit, like he's gonna be. Here's the thing: he's more susceptible than any other player in the NFL. More susceptible, not equal to somebody. He's the most susceptible player to a concussion in the entire National Football League. That's coming from me. That's my assessment. I'm not a doctor, but that's my assessment. And on top of that, he's going to be more susceptible than any player in the entire National Football League to remain in a concussive state longer to recover. So if he gets a concussion in week 4, he doesn't come back until week 8, week 9, week 10. So it's not like he's out of game.
That's why I think. So that's why I think they're going to go with Lamar instead, because with Tom Brady, you got maybe a year or two.
Agreed.
Whereas with Lamar,
man, he would be unbelievable. Man, he would be a cheat code. I just don't see how the Ravens let Lamar Jackson go. They need to sign that man if they know what's best for their franchise.
Every one of these 3 players would be an absolute monster in Miami Mike's offense and system with those wide receivers. Now, you're right.
Absolutely.
I think Aaron Rodgers has 2 years left if he goes to Miami, and I think he wants to stay for 2 years. I think Tom Brady's borderline 1 more year left in a situation like this. If he stayed where he's at, or let's say he returned to New England, which is one of those silly smoke season rumors, he would absolutely flop. He'd go out there like Brett Favre going to the Jets and looking like pathetic.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I know a lot of people are like trying to project Brady to all these teams, but in reality, it's like, yeah, you're going to have the greatest QB, but for like 1 year at most. And what are you going to sell for that 1 year of maybe winning it?
Well, I think what it comes down to for Miami Mike is if he can't get Lamar, he can sign Brady for free. You know what I'm saying? In terms of compensation. Like, whereas Aaron Rodgers, he has to pay $60 million, which you might have to pay Brady you might have to pay Brady a boatload, $60 million, $50 million, whatever, for a year. But you have to give up draft capital. You have to give up compensation. And Miami also doesn't have a first-round pick in 2023. They don't have a pick in 2024. And I believe they have a 2025 draft pick, I believe. I don't know if they have a 2024 pick. I forget. Miami Dolphins, let's see. Miami Dolphins.
I mean, do you think
trade Tua and a couple picks for Lamar?
No one's taking Tua. No one's taking Tua. Let's see here.
Do you think anyone would take Lance then?
You what?
Do you think anyone would take Lance as like a left field move?
I think that if anybody would do it, it would be Miami Mike, but I don't know that he's going to be, or anybody's going to give up the amount of draft capital that Kyle Shanahan's going to require.
As a Bucs fan, I would love Trey Lance to go to Tampa. I think that would be fire.
Yeah, if
Purdy goes on a run, he's going to be the starter next year. If he wins the Super Bowl, even if he beats the Eagles and makes the Super Bowl, Trey Lance to Tampa would be.
Nobody's given up a 2023 early first-round pick. Someone would give up an unknown 2024 for Trey, maybe. But will Kyle want more than one first-rounder because he's stubborn and he wants to not look like he made a huge mistake? If I'm Kyle Shanahan,
they spent a lot of money on Trey, or a lot of picks.
Yeah, but at the same time, think about it from Kyle Shanahan's perspective. And I said this earlier today on Instagram. Why would you trade him for anything less than a boatload? Like, if you're Shanahan and someone says, "Hey, I'll give you 2 or 3 seconds," even, I'd be like, "Why? We got Brock Purdy, who we think we know what we got.
And he could just be a backup, yeah.
But now you've got Trey Lance, a guy you thought was good enough to start and take you deep into the playoffs, right? You've got 2 quarterbacks you love, and the Niners haven't been in that position for a while. And if with Christian McCaffrey, Debo, Bosa about to be locked down, Ayuk." Defense, like, why would you don't need anything. The cap increases helps you retain players. Like, the Niners would be absolutely, I think, idiotic to trade away Trey for anything but the farm, because it secures them into their worst nightmare, which is to lose Brock Purdy to an injury and then have their whole season go down the drain. So it's like they're in the best position backup quarterback-wise than anybody in the National Football League if they've got Trey and Purdy. So I don't think a Trey Lance trade happens, or it shouldn't happen, in my opinion. I think, as I was mentioning, Tom Brady makes the most sense for Miami because they can just sign him. There's no trade compensation involved. Lamar requires trade compensation and a fat contract. Aaron Rodgers requires trade compensation and a fat contract, whereas Tom Brady's the cheapest. Yes, he's a shorter-term solution, but guess what? These coaches are playing for 1 year at a time. They're playing for their jobs. And Miami Mike can't, he's got to take what he can get.
You got to do what you got to do.
The Raiders might be.
Is there any other QB then that's, I guess, with no draft capital
Derek Carr?
That's younger? I'm just wondering. Okay.
Derek Carr. Let's see. Miami Dolphins. Let me see what the Miami Dolphins picks are. Miami Dolphins.
I feel like they still have a lot of picks.
2024. Let's see here.
So, I mean, a sleeper could even be Carr then, too, right?
Yeah.
If you wanted to go with someone younger?
I think whoever lands in Miami is going to look 2 or 3 times better than they really are. So, in the case of
Waddle and Tyreek.
In the case of Derek Carr, can someone honestly tell me that Tua is better than Derek Carr? I'm not sure I can say yes to that. I mean, Tua proved me wrong to a degree, but it's because the situation was so good, and I just didn't feel like the situation could make him turn into the player that he turned into, but it did. So Derek Carr,
like Tua more than Derek Carr personally.
Derek Carr was competent enough. He just, he wasn't a closer. He definitely, I don't think, failed to the degree that the picture was, how the picture was painted about him. Like, I feel like he did better than people gave him credit for. I think he fed Devontae Adams a ton, and that was good. That was good. That's good to see, because wherever he goes, if there's an elite wide receiver, like let's say he goes to New York, at least we know Garrett Wilson's going to be okay. If he goes to the Raiders, the Dolphins, we know that if you put Tua on the Raiders, even though you got Devontae Adams, I think Tua would get eaten up. I think Tua was perfectly embedded into a system that would mask all of his weaknesses, and they started to come to light. Tua looked kind of figured out, even when he was back on the field. Some might say it's because he was still messed up from the concussions or whatever, but he started to look figured out. And I think Derek Carr would get you similar results. I think Derek Carr would be borderline top 6 to 7, top 6 to 8 quarterback potential on the weekly. I don't know if he finishes in the top 6 to 7 at the end of the day, but does he dance in that territory all the time? Probably. Does Lamar dance in the 2 to 4 range if in Miami? Probably. Would Aaron Rodgers or Brady dance in the 2 to 4, 2 to 5 range? Probably. I think Aaron Rodgers would be phenomenal in Miami. But Aaron Rodgers,
I think Lamar in Miami is your 101 at quarterback. That's just my take.
I mean, he could be. There's the debate for it for sure. Like, Miami's that good. You put a really good
defense,
quarterback there.
They have good running backs.
Lateral Nicholas.
That'd be so scary.
Lateral Nicholas has been waiting a while. What's up, pal?
Thank you, Shmini.
Yeah,
I'll stay and watch.
Oh, okay. Appreciate you, man. Lateral, what's up?
All right, bye.
Yo,
what's up? Ada, hold on 1 second. I'll let you close.
I just got back. I just got back from the bar, and I turned on YouTube as usual, and I saw you were on, so I had to hop in. I've been trying to listen. It's been a little fuzzy over the phone, but in my opinion, with these quarterbacks and with these destinations, if I'm looking at what I would want if I were each of them, I have different motivations, right? So I see Lamar, and obviously Lamar wants success, and obviously Lamar wants, stardom, and I think what Lamar really wants is a spot for a while, and a spot that he can shine. And obviously a Super Bowl is the main goal, but I think he wants a lot of money. I think he wants to be the guy for a while, right? And then I look at Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. If I'm approaching, I don't even know how old they are. They're probably like 90 combined. Like, they're pretty old, you know. If I'm looking at them, Tom Brady wants another Super Bowl to end his career. I mean, honestly, anyone could say what Tom Brady wants. You could just fucking, or, I'm sorry, I can't say that. My fault.
He's gone. Those are the rules, bro. Rules are the real rules, man. Man, Lateral Nicholas, one of the better callers, gone. Blocked. Man, that sucks for him. Look, YouTube has cracked down on monetization, and when you drop a bomb like that, it could very well potentially demonetize the entire video. So you're gone, Nicholas. I'm sorry, bro. I hope you still love me. I hope you still love the channel, but that's it. You don't get warnings anymore. There's no warnings. You're gone.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I love Nicholas too. I love Lateral Nicholas calling in, bro. That sucks. Ada, what's up? You got anything final to say?
I was just asking a quick question too. So I guess based on your on the mock drafts, who would you get for the 1.1 and the 1.9 out of a 10 team?
1 point what? Say it again.
1.1 and the 1.9.
Is that Lateral? I might give you another chance. Okay, just don't do it again. But we'll let you stay off for tonight. We're gonna put. Usually, I'm not gonna give people another chance. I don't know. We'll think about it, bro. 1 point. I'm sorry. Say the whole thing again, Ada, from the start. 1.9 and 1 point what? And what are we talking about?
So based on the mock draft,
yeah,
the 1.1 and the 1.9, who would you draft there personally?
Rookie?
Like your take.
Rookie?
No, redraft. Sorry, redraft.
Oh, 1.1, either JJ Chase or CMC. 1.9, probably could be anywhere between Kenneth Walker, ETN. I hope those guys go later. They did seem to fall to the beginning or mid second round, which if that's the way it's going to be, I'm going to hold off on that.
Don't worry, I got Walker in my keeper because of you. I got him in my keeper.
Yeah,
round 3 last year.
But we'll have to see. I mean, like Kelsey's still an option.
Okay.
By the way, I pulled up the draft capital that Miami has. So Miami Mike has his own second, his own third, New England's third, fifth rounder traded to San Francisco. Let's see, 2024, Miami has their own first and their own second. So they forfeited their third rounder. They forfeited their first rounder in 2023, which is such a shame. Like, that's crazy. When you think about it, like, that's crazy that Miami Mike has to deal with that. But he does have a 2024 first. So I knew it was a 2024 or 2025. And you can trade up to 3 years in advance, 3 cycles. So you technically...
they're probably going to look at the Rams, though, and be like, do we want to become that?
Yeah.
Which right now the Rams aren't looking too hot.
Yeah. But Miami Mike could trade a 2024 first and a 2025 first for Lamar if they wanted to. I'm not saying that's what Lamar would cost. I don't really know. I would imagine 2 first rounders would be what Lamar would cost.
Realistically, that probably would be because he's proven himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, hold on. Let me get my final takes on the QB. So I'm gonna say number 1 is Tom Brady in Miami, like you said, no draft competition there. But then my sleeper will be Derek Carr if they don't tag him. I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna put that out right now. Just a sleeper there.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Carr in the right spot would all of his deficiencies would be, you'd be able to mask him in Miami. And just like Tua's not an amazing quarterback. Tua's a good quarterback, potentially good quarterback, but he was an amazing quarterback. Miami Mike's system.
Exactly. And that's why Carr would be super cheap, especially with the fall and everything, right? They didn't go to the playoffs. And
Carr,
right? So.
Carr would be cheap, but like Miami Mike he wants to shoot for the moon. Like Carr's better than Brady. Carr's better than A-Rod. I'm sorry, Brady's better than Carr. A-Rod's better than Carr. Lamar's better than Carr. And Carr's like, I don't know. He's Tua. And Tua was good enough, so Carr would be good enough, and the system's good enough. And Carr would definitely be, I think, 4th on the list if he didn't get a shot at Trey, in a trade. which he could get rid of his 2024 first rounder and 2025 first rounder. I just don't think that maybe if anybody was willing to overpay for Trey, it would be Miami Mike, but I don't think any other teams felt like he was a top 15 pick to begin with. And the fact that he's injured and coming off injury and really hasn't been good enough in the Niners' eyes to take the job, and now he can't take the job back. Like, he couldn't take the job from Jimmy, and I don't believe this about Trey. I believe that the problem is the perception is that the Niners felt like he wasn't good enough to take Jimmy's job. He's not good enough to take Purdy's job, and so he is like a wounded dog to the Niners. So teams trading for him are going to be like, why would I come in and trade for a player you don't even deem good enough to take the job from Jimmy, take the job from Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the NFL draft, and you want 2 first-round picks for him? I'm not giving you 2 first-round picks. You've already shown your hand. So I don't think anybody's going to give up 2 first-rounders. I think at most you get a 2024 first-rounder from like the Dolphins for Trey Lance. And I don't know if that's smart on Shanahan's part because, like I said, they have 2 quarterbacks right now, and they can go into the future with very cheap quarterbacks and be in the best position out of anybody in the National Football League at QB, at backup QB, and feel very safe for the next 2, 3, 4 years to go after another Super Bowl run. So,
I mean, any way you slice it, you're pretty much going to overpay for Lance. I doubt he's going to get traded anywhere. Like, no one's going to overpay like for him.
Yeah,
especially. But I mean, for the Jets, then I guess would they be the only other team that you could maybe see giving something up for Lamar? Because I mean, they have the rest of the team essentially. Like they're a QB away from being competitive. Could you see them selling some stuff?
Who?
The Jets. I mean, they're a quarterback away.
For sure. I mean, like I've got it right here. I've got Lamar as the third option here. I have Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and then Lamar, because Lamar is going to, like I said, cost money and cost draft capital, whereas Brady's not. And Aaron Rodgers is already kind of this whole narrative that Aaron Rodgers is, he's getting sent in motion, to be a very likely candidate to land in New York. So Aaron Rodgers is number 1 here. Brady's number 2, and then Lamar number 3 because of the cost. But a lot of people think that Lamar can't, that the Ravens would be dumb to trade him. And while I think that there's some truth to that, like they would, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to bring in Derek Carr? I could see Derek Carr in a Ravens jersey if that ended up happening. But like, why would they do that? Because Lamar doesn't want to stay. And so at some point,
they're not helping him too.
Yeah, you got to ask yourself, like, if a player says, I don't want to sign a long-term deal, I want to be traded, you could force that player to play for you. But you could also say to yourself, we're wasting time. Like, if he doesn't want to sign a long-term deal, are we going to continue to franchise tag him? He's going to be unhappy. He's not going to be motivated. We're not going to get, his best out of him. He's busted 3 years in a row. Like, do they even want him?
And it lowers his value, too.
So it's like, at some point they're going to say, I believe the Ravens would not force him to play there. I think the Ravens would say, look, if you don't want to play here, you truly don't want to play here, we're willing to offer you this. We'll trade you. But we're not going to trade you. We're going to only trade you if the price is right. But who's going to overpay? Miami Mike. Who's going to say price is no? The Jets, too. The Jets have said they want to bring in a veteran quarterback, and there's no limit to what they're willing to do it. They want to bring the right person in. I believe Aaron Rodgers is that person. They can pay $60 million. They will. $60 million is what the Jets would have to pay of Aaron Rodgers' contract if they acquire him, or any team acquires Aaron Rodgers. There'll be a little over $60 million that team is obligated to pay him for 2023, which is a boatload. But the salary cap increases. Aaron Rodgers is worth it. Lamar Jackson is going to cost you probably a little bit more, though. So you're going to pay a lot more in draft capital and probably have to pay a little bit more contract-wise, because Aaron Rodgers, you're paying $60 million, but you're not committed to $300, $400 million. Lamar, if you make a trade for Lamar, he gets tagged, okay, and a contract gets inked, or essentially on the verge of inking the moment that they agree to terms on the trade, because no team is going to trade for Lamar unsigned. Like, they will trade for him and announce the contract almost immediately after. because no team would give up the draft capital without knowing how hard a deal could be to get worked out. So they always go hand in hand. A franchise tag and trade followed by almost an immediate contract announcement. So Lamar is going to cost about $50 million a year plus, and it's going to be about $400 to $400 million, $400 to $450 million. So when people say Lamar's better, there's a lot more that goes into it,
So, do you think maybe even nobody trades for him then? Because he's just too much of an overpay in any sense?
No, I think Miami Mike would. I think the Jets would consider it. I don't know what the Raiders cap is to pull that off. I mean, I suppose anything's possible. You can move money around anyway. I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers signed his massive contract, and I believe at the time they announced it, they were still way under the cap, like a boatload. Like it's fictitious. You just move it around. You push it into it's easy to manipulate. But I just think that these are the three guys that are on the move. We're gonna be talking about these three quarterbacks for months. And maybe one of them ends up getting traded quickly or something, but one will be a domino effect for the others. Once let's say Aaron Rodgers gets traded to the Jets, now Miami knows they've got Brady and Lamar. And Brady's going to try and go to San Francisco. I know he wants to go to San Francisco. He's always wanted to play for the Niners. And I think if Purdy fails this weekend against the Eagles and looks bad, there's a cracked door opening for at least a consideration and a conversation to be had. If Brock Purdy takes his team to the Super Bowl and loses or wins, I think then you ask yourself, if we can do this with Brock Purdy barely prepared, he's barely prepared. Barely, I'm not even like stretching that. Barely prepared.
No, yeah, literally.
Then why would you, that's a really good sign. So, but then again, it's like Tom Brady, even if you were to hit the pause button and throw Brady in there to teach him, is that going to hurt Brock? Probably not. Like, it probably only helps him. So, if I'm running things, even if let's say Brock plays well but loses this weekend, this game itself doesn't really determine it for me anyway. But it'd be a lot easier to justify if Brock has a Super Bowl appearance and you bring Tom Brady in. The message that sends is like distracting, and I don't know that it can get done. I just don't know if it's a possibility. It just it'd be weird. But if let's say he gets worked over or has a good game but loses, but shows he's not quite ready, then you have an argument and a justification to be like, look, Brady's going to get him ready. This makes a lot of sense. Bring Brady in. If Brady doesn't do it, we bench him. If Brady can't do it, you bench him. He gets too old or it falls off like during the season, you bench him. But you bring Brady in, and Brady would probably commit to, let me train Brock. Let me bring him up. It'll be part of why you bring me in. Like, Brady wants to come to the Niners so bad that he would probably like put out a whole presentation about how he's going to take care of Brock and put him under his wing. So I just think it's not, I wouldn't rule out Brady going to San Francisco, but we got to watch Brock this weekend and see what happens.
Interesting. Okay. So do you think the same thing would happen then in a sense with the Jets, where like I guess what do you think you're going to do with Mike White too? Because the whole team rallied around Mike.
I don't know.
And Wilson right now is not looking hot at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's the whole plan. Like,
if they commit to him and say Rodgers gets injured, then you have no one, right? Then you have Wilson, who the team essentially almost hates, and then isn't even playing well.
I don't know anybody's trading for Zach Wilson. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't.
Maybe they trade him dirt cheap to somebody, but you probably just keep him. I imagine they just keep him, and if A-Rod got hurt, they would resort to Zach Wilson as the backup. Hey, Double A, if you can mute it while you're holding, if you're real quicker. But I would say Aaron Rodgers is 60% going to be a New York Jet. The only thing that would come down to would be just the draft capital and trade compensation isn't good enough. But when you have a quarterback that wants to go somewhere, you have a quarterback that is willing to retire and step away, and you have a team that has got 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out on a rebuild, and it's evident. It's evident, and they want to potentially cut Aaron Jones. That gives the team 12 to like 13 million or 10 to 13 million back.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of all the old dogs that Aaron Rodgers loves. Aaron Rodgers has been vocal about, I don't want to be a part of a rebuild. There's been clarifying questions that have said, hey, A-Rod, what's a rebuild? Do you think the Packers are a rebuild? And he, clarifies by saying there are some teams that say they're not rebuilding, but they are. And he doesn't want to be a part of those. He doesn't want to be a part of a blatant rebuild. He'd be part of a reload, he said, quote unquote, a reload type of situation where you just bring in a lot of talent and go for one more championship. Is his ploy to say, hey, Green Bay, you want to reload? I will run it back, but you gotta reload. Now, what's reload mean to Aaron Rodgers? What's reload mean to Aaron Rodgers? Because he wanted Cobb. He wanted Randall Cobb and some, like, if I was Aaron Rodgers, reload to me would be like, you bring in a big dog, you bring in a monster, you don't bring in a Randall Cobb. But so I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure. But all I know is that if you want to trade and you're a quarterback and you could retire, you're more open-minded to making it work than I think people realize. Like they will want to get rid of him. They kind of want to move on to Jordan Love. They really do. And I think that if they get the right compensation, and because the New York Jets have been very vocal about that, they will spare no expense is some of the terminology being thrown around. That to me tells me that the Packers and Jets will have no problem. If Aaron Rodgers does in fact want to go to New York, and maybe he shoots it down tomorrow morning, maybe he says Hackett in New York does nothing to do with me. I don't want to go to the Jets. Like, we don't know. If he wants it to happen, the Jets and the Packers, I believe, 100% could easily make it happen. Easily.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let Double A talk now. So thank you so much.
All right, Adam. Appreciate you, man. Double A.
Thanks.
What's up? What's up, man?
Question for you. Looking at the mock draft, I know it's early, way too early, but seeing Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, Mixon, and Rashad Stevenson all the way in the 4th round, do you think we're going to see a lot of wide receivers push the ADPs on running backs and to make them a value, or are these going to be guys that you're going to stay away from anyway?
I think wide receivers will gain value more than ever before. But I don't think it'll be as extreme as we think, because there are so many people that still say running back is the way to go. They're just stubborn with their thinking, or like if you go and the content's created around that. Like you still, like I saw a couple big name fantasy football content creators, like we're talking about the highest level, do a video and say that waiting on a quarterback is still the best approach because the value's there, and you can rotate quarterbacks and you can figure it out. And I'm not saying that you can't win that way, and I'm not even trying to rip on the content creators. They're obviously respectable people who've been doing it for a long time, and they deserve respect. But the fact that content's being created as if that's the best approach, mixed with the people that are just so stubborn about running back, and you see it at mock drafts. 1, 2, or 3 or 4 people in a mock draft you do are going to go RB. They go 3 RBs in a row, not just 2 RBs in a row, not just one in round 1. So I think it'll be a little bit more conducive to wide receiver than ever before. But I think it's going to be like a 30% of the drafters, or 35% or something like that. So I think running backs could be driven down a little bit. The interesting part would be, and I think you mentioned this, or you might have been trying to say something similar to it, or if I got it wrong, I'm sorry, but the older RBs are going to be tough to rank, like Cook, Kamara, Chubb, Henry. I know Eckler's still going to go really high to most people, and I understand why. I just feel a little differently about the longevity of them for 2023. I think the first month or month and a half will be fire. And so I'll draft Eckler, but I'll just trade him by double-digit weeks no matter what. I'm not going to get on board of a 28-year-old running back. And Henry, he'll be 29. And yes, he did it at 28, but he's an outlier. I'm getting rid of both those guys before I even sniff double-digit weeks. But with Cook, Chubb, Kamara, all these old dog running backs, we're all going to be very tempted when we go wide receiver, and then we see, Kamara in round 4 or 5 or Chubb in round 3 or 4, and you went wide receiver, you got no RBs, they're drying up, and you're like, man, this isn't going like I thought. And Chubb's sitting there in the 3rd round. It's going to be interesting what we all do. And we kind of saw some of that in the mock drafts tonight. But, I don't know. I think I'm going to be very rookie running back oriented for wide receiver builds. So to get, Gibbs and Charbonnet and then get, a Tony Pollard or whatever, that's going to be a very nice way to build.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot. I was actually guilty of going 1, 2, 3, but it was only because I envisioned Eckler, Breece Hall, and Swift being pass catchers. And to be perfectly honest, it was my first draft of the year, and I was just thinking to myself how nice it would have been to start off with something more like a Tyreek Hill and a A.J. Brown.
And there's nothing wrong with going RB. I'm just saying that I don't know that everybody's expecting, because we kind of thought this way last year, and with the early quarterbacks, we are, and especially me, because I'm a driving force by why the community, is going to partially think this way and be kind of I'm trying to open people's minds to early quarterback. I have been for years, for over a decade of taking quarterbacks early. Not so early that you're
as long as I've been here.
You what?
As long as I've been following you.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm trying to get you to waste a pick or reach too high. It's at a reasonable place. Right now I'm telling people, don't take your quarterback in round 1 just because you're excited about this early quarterback approach that's kind of becoming more popular. But I'm saying wait until round 2. Round 2 is still going to be a reach. You take Hurts, Mahomes, Burrow, or Josh Allen at 14 overall, you're going to get laughed at by a lot of people. So and that's okay. And I'm here to console you if that happens, because I'm here to tell you, let them laugh. And when you blast them, it's going to be you laughing at them. But I'm also here to say, recognize where the line is. If you start drafting Josh Allen at 5 and 6 overall, you're not paying attention, because they're falling to the 2nd round, and they're too high to most people in the 2nd round. So why are you going to take Josh Allen at number 6? You don't need to. It's a total waste.
I did see names will not be used, but I did see a prominent fantasy analyst say this year that finally he thinks he's changed his mind, and that maybe doesn't need the top of the elite quarterbacks, but the days of streaming quarterbacks and waiting forever. And I happened to look at the difference between the number 1 average per game with Jalen Hurts at 1 and Trevor Lawrence at 12. And there's almost an 8.5 point difference between those 2 quarterbacks per game average.
Yeah, and it also matters landing the biggest argument and good argument. It's a good one. It's a good one that almost it makes you stop in your tracks to think, how do I defend this, right? It's a really legitimate point. Is what about Justin Herbert? Justin Herbert was the number 2 fantasy football quarterback coming out of 2021. So there was no way to really tell that he was going to bust this year. And if you drafted him at 3.1, 3.4 and got laughed at, and we were proponents of drafting him in the 3rd round easily. He was such a good pick. He felt like in the 3rd round. And he busted. So the best argument someone has against early quarterback is, how did that serve those people? Very badly is the answer. But and the other counterpoint is, look at Joe Burrow. Nobody was higher on Joe Burrow from a show perspective than this show. Nobody was higher that I could find on Jalen Hurts. No one was higher on Jalen Hurts than this show from a show perspective. I mean, we had him on the Moon Men. We were punching the button over and over and over saying, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, these are Moon Men, these are guys. So drafting late quarterback won leagues. But the difference is, I don't think any of the Joe Burrows or Jalen Hurtses are sitting in 6-7 anymore. You have Trevor Lawrence in the 5 round territory, who's kind of the last quarterback that has that kind of firepower and potential. He's in the 5 to 7 range. So you have Trevor Lawrence as one out, if you will, if you end up passing on early quarterback and you're waiting for that guy. Trevor Lawrence is our guy. Like, I'm fine with that. There's 100 ways to win. Early quarterback's not the only way. But then you have Fields, probably 3 or 4 territory. I highly doubt Fields falls in the Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow territory from this past season. There's just no way Fields is going to fall that late. He'll be around 3-4. He'll go where Kyler and Lamar went. Lamar will be 3-4 unless he goes to Miami early on, and then you might see him go higher, but we'll call him 3-4. So Fields and Lamar are 3-4. The rest of the big dogs that are almost locked into producing top 5 overall fantasy value would be Burrow, the big four quarterbacks, Burrow, Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Jalen Hurts. And I don't know that there are hiding in the bushes type of quarterbacks anymore in the 6-7 besides Trevor Lawrence. So that's my assessment as to why waiting won't serve you as well as it served all of us who scooped up Joe Burrow in round 6-7. We scooped him up in droves. Early quarterback drafting predictor right here. Scooped up Joe Burrow over and over and over in round 6-7. I just don't know that we'll see that again this year. The changing of the guard. You're going to have to pay the price for a quarterback if you want the guarantee. Now, Herbert could be with Trevor Lawrence in the 6-7, 5-7 territory, and maybe Herbert does bounce back and become the gem. But, I'd be glad to pay Joe Burrow value of a 3.1 pick at cost of entry and then find my Gibbs or Charbonnet in the territory where people are drafting quarterbacks. Wait on a quarterback is so valuable. Okay, I get it, but give me Charbonnet or give me Gibbs in the same territory you're drafting QBs. I'll take Joe Burrow, and where I'm drafting Joe Burrow, you're taking Dalvin Cook. So I'm getting Charbonnet and Burrow. You're getting Dalvin Cook and late quarterback. Apples to apples. I don't care what anybody says. There's nothing wrong with early quarterback, and it can win leagues. Every strategy can win leagues. You just got to deploy it right.
And you get to play the cool soundbite from your daughter.
Yeah. Joe Burrow, ha, ha, ha.
That's the greatest thing ever, man.
Yeah. This Charbonnet one's pretty good, too. I'm going to...
Charbonnet.
I like it.
I'm going to tweak it slightly.
Bottle of Charbonnet.
I'm thinking, what do you think if I have a bunch of Charbonnet bottles and they all just start firing off? What's probably better than this, right? Maybe I'll tweak it.
As a longtime bartender, I never mind a little bottle popping.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll fix it up for next show, maybe tomorrow.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right, Double A. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Later. Oh, Double A. Oh, that's right. I was going to ask him if he had hearing anything else on the Alvin Kamara front. All right. I think I'm out of here. I'm live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Monday through Friday. I'm live Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Tuesday at midnight. And you're watching that show right now, the Friday version of these midnight shows, which means we probably these are kind of like not guaranteed, but usually locked in shows, the midnight shows. They're kind of gravy shows, bonus shows, but they're usually Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Monday through Friday, pretty much guaranteed 360, or 52 weeks out of the year. Pretty much guaranteed you're going to get a Monday through Friday show. That doesn't really waver. Even when I'm sick, I try and come on no matter what. Like, that's the way we roll. We're live randomly whenever news breaks here on the channel. So subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell notification. How are you going to know if I'm live breaking live news if you don't have the notification bell clicked and if you aren't subscribed? So please subscribe. We have 80 people still in here and only 59 thumbs up. Could you guys all 80 of you, please punch that thumb up button for your boy Smitty on your way out the door. It would really, really help. Kamara front went silent, says Double A. So weird, bro. I think, it definitely comes back to haunt him for sure, but it is a crazy scenario. Do I even sleep? No, I don't, bro. This is my job, bro. This is what I do. I work for all of you. I work for all of you. All right. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you.
Kenneth Skywalker. Kenneth Lightsaber Swinging Skywalker. The tripod, also likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, are constructed using burrow or Hertz, chase or a JB hull or walker.
Got him.